The chamber hushed as Ambassador Galarex rose, his translucent membranes quivering along his neck. The Galactic High Council, representing over 300 sentient species across the known universe, watched with a blend of unease and intrigue. Emergency sessions were uncommon, and this one carried the highest priority designation. Esteemed colleagues, Galarex began, his voice steady despite the weight of the moment, our deep space monitoring stations have detected an unregistered faster-than-light signal nearing the outer edges of Federation space. We have confirmed the vessel originates from a previously quarantined system. A holographic display flickered to life at the chamber's center, revealing a star system dominated by a menacing planet. The data showed extreme radiation, violent geological activity, and an atmosphere toxic to most species present. This, Galarex continued, is what our classification system labels a death world, Category 12 on our planetary hazard scale, previously considered theoretical. No sentient species has ever been documented emerging from such conditions. Admiral Morank, the Federation's defense chief, leaned forward, his khitan plating clicking anxiously. And you're suggesting that whatever pilots that vessel evolved on this infernal planet? Precisely, Admiral, Galarex replied. Initial scans reveal biological signatures, unlike anything in our records. They appear to have developed FTL technology centuries ahead of our projections for such a hostile environment. The implications are troubling. Dr. Serovia, the Federation's foremost xenobiologist, activated her communication panel, her aven feathers ruffled in what her peers recognized as intense curiosity. The evolutionary pressures on such a world would produce adaptations beyond our understanding, she trilled. Resistance to extreme radiation, biological defenses against toxins, physical resilience that might seem impossible. These beings would have endured conditions that would destroy most of us in moments. The chamber erupted in overlapping voices, species speaking in their native languages as translation devices strained to keep pace. Fear dominated the room, fear of the unknown, fear of a potential threat unlike any the Federation had faced in centuries of peaceful collaboration. Admiral Morank slammed his reinforced limb against the table. We must mobilize our defense fleets. If these Deathworlders have developed spacefaring capabilities and located us, they could pose an existential threat to the entire Federation. Let's not rush to judgment, countered Ambassador Zorro, the methane-breathing Quisaran representative. We have no evidence of hostile intent. Our first contact protocols were designed for situations like this. The debate grew heated, with proposals ranging from immediate military action to diplomatic outreach, each backed by fervent advocates. Dr. Serovia restored a measure of calm. Colleagues, before we act, we should examine what we know about their planet in detail. Our stellar cartography has limited data on their system. The holographic display shifted to a detailed orbital scan of the Death World. Mountain ranges dwarfing those on Federation planets, oceans boiling from submarine volcanic activity, atmospheric storms capable of flaying most species, and most alarming, evidence of predatory megafauna defying ecological norms. Apex predators evolved to hunt other apex predators in a relentless cycle of biological escalation. By the void, a council member whispered. How could anything sentient evolve in such conditions? Dr. Serovia's eyes gleamed with fascination. That's what makes them extraordinary. They didn't merely survive. They built a civilization, developed technology, art, and ultimately space travel. They mastered their environment instead of succumbing to it. Admiral Morank was about to respond when an urgent transmission interrupted. A junior officer, visibly shaken, projected into the chamber. Counselors, we've received a direct message from the unidentified vessel. They've entered Federation space and request permission to dock. They claim to come in peace and seek diplomatic relations. Absolute silence followed, broken by the council elder's measured voice, silent until now. It seems our theoretical discussions have become reality. Prepare the diplomatic reception areas and perhaps our containment protocols. We're about to meet the most resilient Death World species in the galaxy. At Harmony Nexus, the Federation's primary diplomatic docking station, tension crackled. Security personnel from a dozen species lined the corridors, armed with weapons designed to neutralize nearly any life form. Medical teams stood ready with universal quarantine fields, and xenobiologists fidgeted with scanning equipment. The Deathworlder ship had caused a stir upon arrival. Unlike the sleek, elegant vessels of Federation design, it appeared patchwork, bearing scars of meteor impacts, radiation burns, and hasty repairs. To Federation engineers, it seemed dangerously unreliable. To military analysts, it suggested a species hardened by relentless conflict and adaptation. "They're docking now," the station commander announced. "Atmospheric analysis indicates their ship contains elements toxic to most of our species. They've agreed to follow our standard airlock decontamination protocols." Ambassador Galarex stood at the forefront of the reception committee, striving to project calm. "No sudden movements," he reminded. "Our translators are calibrated to their communications, but cultural misunderstandings remain possible." The massive airlock cycled through its decontamination sequence with soft hisses, then opened with a final clunk. The Federation representatives held their breath, bracing for horrors from a Category 12 death world. What emerged was unexpected. Instead of monstrous giants, the Death Worlders were almost elegant, taller than most Federation species, slender and graceful. Their bodies shimmered with iridescent scales and fine fur, clad in practical, form-fitting garments with lightweight armor at key points. Their large, alert eyes radiated unmistakable intelligence. The lead Death Worlder stepped forward, gesturing fluidly with all four upper limbs in a manner conveying respect and confidence. "Greetings, representatives of the Galactic Federation," the translator rendered their complex vocalizations. "I am Varisa, diplomatic envoy of the Zelthri people. We come in peace, seeking friendship and knowledge exchange." The melodious voice, despite the translator's synthetic tone, defied expectations. Galarex recovered first, offering his species' traditional greeting. "On behalf of the Galactic Federation, I welcome you to Harmony Nexus. We are eager to establish peaceful contact with your people." A smaller Zelthri with vibrant, color-shifting scales stepped forward. "I am Reek, cultural attaché. We've brought tokens of friendship from our homeworld, Zelth. Nothing hazardous, I assure you. At least, not to us." The translator flagged the last remark as humor, prompting tension among the security team. Varisa made an untranslated sound, possibly amusement or exasperation. "My colleague's humor may not translate well. Reek means our world is extreme by your standards. We've observed your communications and prepared accordingly." This revelation rippled concern through the delegates. They had been watched for how long? Admiral Morank, present despite objections, stepped forward. "Your technology must be advanced to intercept and decode our secure transmissions." Varisa tilted her head, perhaps in acknowledgement. "Not especially. Your signals stand out against cosmic noise. Decoding was straightforward once we grasped your binary systems, a matter of universal mathematics." Dr. Sarovia couldn't contain her curiosity. "How have you adapted to your world's conditions? Our data suggests radiation levels that should preclude complex life, let alone technological civilization." Reek brightened. "An excellent question. Our cells incorporate radiation-absorbing compounds, converting certain wavelengths into biochemical energy. What you'd call lethal, we find invigorating. As for environmental extremes, the supervolcanic eruptions of our last great cycle spurred rapid adaptability. Supervolcanic eruptions, a security officer whispered, horrified. Oh, yes, Reek continued enthusiastically. The cataclysm of the Seventh Age buried a quarter of our planet in ash and molten stone. Those were festival days. The sky fire patterns were breathtaking for decades. The Federation delegates exchanged alarmed glances. These beings celebrated planetary catastrophes. Verisa, sensing discomfort, intervened smoothly. My colleague means our species thrives amid challenges daunting to others, shaping our culture uniquely. Galarex seized the diplomatic opening. Cultural exchange is a Federation cornerstone. Perhaps you'd join us for a formal reception to discuss our worlds in comfort. We'd be honored, Verisa replied, though our idea of comfort may differ. We've studied your environmental parameters and can adapt. As the delegation moved to the reception hall, Admiral Morank lingered, whispering into his communicator. Double security and analyze everything, their ship, garments, even their air. I don't trust this peaceful veneer. Dr. Sarovia, overhearing, whispered back, or perhaps they're genuinely peaceful, Admiral. Harsh conditions don't always breed aggression. Cooperation can be the superior survival strategy. I'm not betting the Federation's safety on evolutionary theories, Doctor, Morank replied grimly. Not when they call supervolcanic eruptions festivals. The grand reception hall at Harmony Nexus was hastily adapted to accommodate both Federation delegates and their unexpected guests. Environmental controls created comfort zones for diverse physiologies, and a diplomatic table offered carefully vetted cuisine from dozens of worlds. None, Federation scientists noted nervously, likely appealing to beings from a Category 12 death world. Verisa's delegation was accommodating, fascinated by their surroundings. They politely declined most refreshments, explaining they'd brought their own sustenance. A precaution, Verisa said. Our biochemistry relies on substances harmful to your systems. Likewise, your foodstuffs lack nutrients essential to us. Reek, enthusiastically documenting the scene with a recording device, produced a sealed container. Our xenobiologists believe this diluted Zel-3 seasoning might be safely shared. The container was handed to Dr. Sarovia's team, who analyzed it tensely. After minutes, the lead researcher reported, "It resembles capsaicin, but with a unique molecular structure. Trace elements could be mildly toxic to most Federation species, though not immediately dangerous." Toxic, a diplomat gasped. Reek made an untranslated sound, clearly amused. Merely stimulating to us. On Zelth, this is mild, suitable for younglings post-hatching. Several delegates recoiled at the implications. Galarex, ever diplomatic, redirected the conversation. Perhaps you could share more about your journey. Your vessel's sudden detection surprised us. Verisa explained. Our propulsion minimizes detectable emissions until the final approach, a necessity on Zelth where attracting certain predators meant destruction. This philosophy shapes our technology. Predators? A security officer asked. What could threaten a spacefaring civilization? The great devourers haven't been a serious threat since we domesticated them, Reek said casually. Now they're companions or assistance creatures. Some families keep them for ceremonial hunts. The officer paled. You domesticated apex predators from a Category 12 death world? Naturally, Reek replied, as if it were obvious. They're intelligent once communication is established, and their ability to detect spatial temporal anomalies makes them excellent cosmic early warning systems. Dr. Sarovia leaned forward, enthralled. Could we see images of these creatures for scientific purposes? After Verisa's nod, Reek activated a holographic projector. The image, a massive creature with serrated appendages, hypersensitive sensory organs, and an armored yet agile form, prompted several delegates to retreat. "This is a juvenile great devourer," Reek said proudly. "My companion, roughly translated as gentle morning breeze, though the nuance is lost." Nothing about the creature suggested gentleness. It looked capable of breaching a Federation cruiser's hull. "And this is a companion?" Galarex asked weakly. "Indeed," Reek confirmed. "She's been with me since my 10th cycle, playful, though sometimes overenthusiastic." The tense atmosphere was interrupted by an urgent communication. The station commander's voice echoed, "Ambassador Galarex, an unscheduled vessel is approaching. It requests docking privileges." "Another Zelthri ship?" Galarex asked, glancing at Verisa. She looked surprised. "We sent no others." "Our delegation is complete," Admiral Morank snapped to alert. "Vessel configuration. Weapon status." The commander sounded puzzled. "It doesn't match known designs, Admiral. Smaller than the Zelthri craft, with an unusual propulsion signature. Preliminary scans suggest, impossibly, it originates from another Death World." Murmurs of alarm spread. "Another Death World species," Dr. Sarovia whispered. "Two first contacts in one cycle." Morank's posture stiffened. "Security alert. All personnel to containment positions. Ambassador, I recommend pausing diplomacy until we understand this." Verisa observed the commotion calmly. "Perhaps this is an opportunity, not a threat. The universe seems to be uniting its most resilient children." The holographic display showed the new vessel. Unlike the Zelthri's battle-scarred craft, it appeared cobbled together, painted in bright colors with decorative patterns. "Sensors confirm its origin," the commander announced. "Category 9+ Death World, not as extreme as Zelth, but beyond what we thought viable for technological civilization." "Category 9+, Dr. Sarovia repeated. "The cosmic irony is astounding. Millennia without Death World contact, and now 2 in one cycle." Galarex glanced from the display to the Zelthri delegation, a sense of cosmic weight, or impending doom, settling over the hall. "It seems the Federation is about to meet another species from Hell." The second airlock cycle felt eternal. Security forces doubled, weapons primed. The Zelthri were positioned to observe safely, appearing more curious than concerned. "Your security seems agitated," Verisa noted to Galarex. "On Zelth, such a display would signal a challenge or great honor." "A precaution," Galarex replied diplomatically. "Two unexpected first contacts are unprecedented." Verisa gestured understanding. "The unknown can unsettle. We Zelthri say fear prepares the body for evolution." Before Galarex could ponder this, the airlock completed its cycle, and the doors parted. The Federation braced, unsure what to expect, Zelthri-like elegance or nightmarish forms. Neither emerged. The beings were bipedal, moderately tall, lacking obvious defenses, no scales, armor, or combat appendages. Their smooth, unprotected skin was covered only by thin fabric. Their faces, later identified by xenopsychologists as casually friendly, were shocking. The led figure, a dark-skinned female with curly hair tied back, stepped forward, smiling broadly. "Hello there," she called, her language taxing the translators. "Captain Alicia Carter, Earth Vessel Curiosity. Hope we're not crashing anything important." The informal greeting, starkly unlike Federation or Zelthri protocols, stunned the room. Carter seemed unfazed, scanning the security forces, diplomats, and Zelthri. "Quite the welcome. We caught your signals a while back and thought we'd swing by to say hi. Are those scaly folks friends, or did we interrupt a private party?" Galarex struggled to regain composure. "Captain Carter, I'm Ambassador Galarex of the Galactic Federation. Welcome to Harmony Nexus. These are the Zelthri. who recently made contact. Carter's eyes lit up as she studied the Zelthri. Another new species? Fantastic. Hello, Zelthri folks. Love the iridescent scales. Very stylish. More humans emerged, carrying containers. A broad-shouldered man with a trimmed beard stepped forward. "We brought gifts," he said cheerfully. "Earth diplomatic protocol, coffee, whiskey, chewing gum, some delicacies. Nothing fancy, but it's the thought, right?" Security remained tense, scanners analyzing the newcomers and their offerings. Surprisingly, Varisa approached the humans curiously. "Your species evolved on a high-gravity, radiation-exposed planet with extreme temperatures and aggressive predators, yet you lack obvious defenses. A fascinating strategy." Carter laughed. "Earth sounds rough when you put it like that, but we get by being clever and stubborn. You must be from a tough place with those scales. Radiation protection?" "Among other functions," Varisa confirmed. "Your analytical skills are impressive." "Just a good guesser," Carter replied modestly. "So, what's the plan? Formal diplomacy first, or can we crack open the whiskey and chat?" Admiral Morank, incredulous, intervened. "Captain Carter, your gifts must be analyzed before consumption. Standard protocol." The bearded human shrugged. "Go ahead. Fair warning. Coffee might give some of you a buzz, depending on your biology. Caffeine's a mild stimulant for us." "Doctor," Sarovia approached with scanners. "Captain, your planet is Category 9+ on our hazard scale, an environment we thought incompatible with advanced civilization. How did you overcome it?" Carter exchanged amused glances with her crew. "Overcome might be strong. We roll with it. Ice ages, supervolcanoes, meteor strikes. Humans adapt, build shelters, make tools, help each other. Basic survival." Reek, intrigued, approached. "You mentioned predators. Have you domesticated them?" A blonde human crew member replied. "Some. Dogs, cats, exotic pets. The really dangerous ones we avoid, though some adrenaline junkies swim with sharks or wrestle alligators." "Wrestle alligators?" a security officer echoed, the translator glitching. "Yeah, some folks do," Carter said dismissively. "I prefer extreme mountain climbing or deep sea diving. Less biting, more beauty before you maybe plummet." The casual mention of life-threatening hobbies distressed the Federation. The Zelthri, however, seemed impressed. Varisa tilted her head. "Your species seeks danger for enjoyment?" "Sure," Carter said. "Skydiving, bungee jumping, free solo climbing. Risk makes you feel alive. Great for social media, too." Varisa and Reek exchanged significant glances. "Remarkable," Varisa said. "On Zelth, daily hazards suffice. We don't seek more. Your psychology must be unique." Galarex, sensing chaos, cleared his throat. "Perhaps we continue these exchanges in a structured setting. The Federation has facilities for formal diplomacy." "Sounds good," Carter agreed, "but I hope there's time for informal bonding. Nothing builds trust like drinks and stories." As the expanded delegation moved to the diplomatic chambers, Morank pulled Galarex aside. "This is unprecedented," he hissed. "Two Death World species, both peaceful, arriving simultaneously. This can't be coincidence." Galarex watched Carter and Varissa converse animatedly, the human gesturing while the Zelthri listened intently. "Coincidence or not, Admiral, the galaxy just got more complex." The formal reception morphed into something unclassifiable. The stiff event became what Carter called a mixer, baffling both Federation and Zelthri. In one corner, Dr. Sarovia held impromptu physiological discussions with human and Zelthri volunteers, her feathers fluffed with excitement. "Extraordinary," she exclaimed, reviewing scans. Human DNA repair mechanisms are remarkably adaptive, less advanced than Zel-3 radiation resistance, but versatile. Your cardiovascular system favors endurance over burst speed. Persistence hunting, a human volunteer nodded. Our ancestors outlasted prey, not outran them. We keep going until they collapse. Nearby, Reek demonstrated a Zel-3 recreational activity, blending martial art and dance. Humans tried to follow, with mixed success. Imagine the ground could liquefy, Reek explained. Constant readiness for environmental shifts is Zel-3 philosophy. Like surfing lava, a human suggested, earning Reek's approval. Except we'd get crispy without tech. Your technological adaptations are fascinating. At the chamber's center, Carter and Varisa's cultural exchange drew a crowd. So humans deliberately sleep in fabric enclosures on frozen mountains for fun? Varisa asked. Camping, Carter enthused. Battling the elements makes the hot shower afterward divine. Your built-in protections probably make it less thrilling. Varisa's amusement sound followed. We navigate burning plains during storm season, dodging electrical discharges for beauty and reflex training. Lightning dodging? Carter grinned. Our storm chasers would love that. Morank, observing suspiciously, approached Galarex. This isn't natural. Humans seek survival challenges for fun. Zel-3 call disasters festivals. Both evolved on impossible worlds, yet discuss death-defying hobbies like friends. Galarex admitted the Admiral's point. The ease of connection between these disparate Deathworlders was striking, perhaps concerning. A commotion interrupted. A security officer, ignoring protocol, had sampled the Zel-3 seasoning and was now in distress, surrounded by colleagues as medics rushed in. Oh dear, Reek said apologetically. I mentioned it was diluted, but perhaps not enough. Carter assessed the scene. What's in it? Looks intense. Reek detailed its chemistry, meaningless until a human scientist gasped. It's like super-concentrated capsaicin, hot chili peppers. Carter brightened. Oh, that's all? Can I try? The Federation froze. Even Varisa looked wary. Captain, this caused severe inflammation in a resistant species, Galarex warned, but Carter had already tasted a speck. Expecting distress, the delegates watched as her eyes widened appreciatively. Wow, that's got kick, like ghost peppers with a metallic aftertaste. Great for tacos. Reek and Varisa exchanged astonished looks. You find this pleasant? Varisa asked. Pleasant's a stretch, Carter laughed, eyes watering. But humans love spicy food. Capsaicin mimics pain, and many enjoy that sensation. Cultural quirk. Elsewhere, a friendly martial arts demonstration between a human and a Zel-3 attaché escalated competitively. A crowd watched the smaller, unarmored human hold his own against the stronger Zel-3. You compensate for limitations with leverage, the Zel-3 noted, recovering from a throw. On a planet where everything can kill you, you get creative, the human replied, dodging a swift attack and flipping the Zel-3 with a judo throw. Silence followed, then the Zel-3's amusement sound. Magnificent, such efficiency. Teach me this. The human, relieved, helped them up, a gesture the Zel-3 mimicked. Morank, alarmed, approached Galarex. Do you see this? Two Deathworlders bonding over insanity, Zel-3 with biological weapons and disaster festivals, humans with danger-seeking and toxin tolerance. If they ally... Galarex watched Carter and Varisa sample coffee curiously. Perhaps we're misjudging, Admiral. Two species mastering hostile worlds, seeking peace, not conquest. Carter's voice rose. Varisa and I have a proposal. Instead of fearing the scary Deathworlders, let's focus on what we offer. Earth has adaptive tech. Zel-3 have biological engineering to benefit all. Varisa nodded. The Federation's diversity offers learning opportunities. Let's celebrate our differences. Dr. Sarovia agreed. Evolutionarily, both are success stories we never imagined. Their adaptations could revolutionize survival science. Marank remained skeptical. Their potential is my concern. If they chose to conquer the galaxy, Carter interjected firmly. If that were our goal, we wouldn't announce ourselves diplomatically. Our planets teach cooperation's value. Varisa concurred. Zelthri learned individual strength is futile against cataclysms. Community and shared tech ensured survival. We seek the Federation's friendship for mutual support. A human scientist added, Earth's history of internal conflict proves we're not conquerors. We had to unite before looking outward. Reek laughed. Zelth's 12 subspecies cooperated across differences before spaceflight. We understand unity. Galarex seized the moment. Captain Carter, Envoy Verissa, would your delegations join a cultural and scientific exchange program? A controlled setting to learn without fear? Carter grinned. Love it. We've got data on Earth species, engineering for extreme environments, and cultural artifacts galore. Plus, I make killer chili to test Zelthri heat tolerance. Verissa agreed elegantly. We'll share radiation-resistant materials, gravitational tech, and safe art forms. Tension eased as practical discussions replaced fears. Federation delegates engaged both groups with questions, curiosity overtaking terror. Marank, still wary, approached Carter. You believe in keeping friends close and enemies closer? Carter smiled. Let's start as unknown variables and work toward friends. Marank studied her. You're either sincere or the most dangerous diplomat I've met. Why not both? Carter winked. The officer who sampled the seasoning recovered, embarrassed but unharmed. You said it was mild, he told Reek. For Zelthri younglings, Reek confirmed. Our nervous systems resist toxins early. You felt what we'd call pleasant warmth. And Captain Carter consumed it without distress, the officer noted. Reek's scales shifted. Humans defy categorization, training themselves to enjoy danger signals. Fascinating. Dr. Sarovia, building a landmark xenobiology database, marveled at a human's endocrine system. Your stress hormones boost short-term performance. Adrenaline junkies seek this deliberately. Some climb without gear, jump from planes, or swim with predators for the rush, the human confirmed. I prefer hot sauce contests, same kick, less deadly. Galarex, discussing integration with Carter and Verissa, noted, Our frameworks never anticipated Category 9+ civilizations, let alone peaceful ones. Never underestimate intelligence. Overcoming limits, Carter said. Earth went from stone tools to spaceflight fast because necessity drives us. Verissa added, Zelth innovated or perished against cataclysms. Cooperation was key. The gathering continued, Federation delegates relaxing as both species showed enthusiasm for exchange, not harm. Humans and Zelthri compared extreme sports, each tale more astonishing. You jump from structures with elastic cords, Reek asked, incredulous. Bungee jumping, a human confirmed. That free-fall moment. You're alive and doomed at once. No practical purpose, a Zelthri asked. Pure fun, the human grinned, though it trains fear control. The Zelthri described crossing geothermal vents during eruptions, a coming-of-age ritual. Tourists could try it, or would we roast? A human asked. The banter left Federation listeners convinced both species were evolutionarily insane, but complementary. At a viewing portal, Carter and Verissa gazed at the stars. Our scientists wondered if anyone else understood surviving a killer world, Carter mused. Varisa's scales shifted thoughtfully. Zelthri call it plexith, wisdom from surviving the unsurvivable. Humans grasp this instinctively. We say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, Carter smiled. Less poetic, same idea. Varisa suggested, our greatest gift to the Federation may be perspective, turning limitations into strengths. Carter nodded, watching their crews bond. Wait till they hear about the Moroshi. Their world makes ours look tame, Varisa's scales rippled. Others? The galaxy's livelier than the Federation knows, Carter said. But one bombshell at a time. Morank, watching, muttered to Sarovia. They're plotting. Her feathers rustled exasperatedly. Yes, Admiral, spicy recipes and extreme sports. The Federation's doomed. Mock me, Doctor, but these Deathworlders change everything. He was right. 6 cycles later, the Galactic High Council convened extraordinarily. Humans and Zelthri sat as full members. Galarex addressed the chamber. Our newest members' contributions are unprecedented. The Human Zelthri Collaborative Sciences Division has transformed hostile environment adaptation. Holograms showcased thriving colonies, cured diseases, and flourishing exchange programs. More than technology, Galarex continued, their philosophical shift challenges insurmountable limitations. Carter, now Earth's ambassador, shared a nod with Varisa, winning their wager on transforming Federation caution. Morank, now respectful, noted enhanced defenses and disaster response teams. Sarovia, heading xenobiology, vibrated with excitement. Their evolutionary principles reveal new sciences. Their death world mindset sees obstacles as opportunities. In a side chamber, Carter raised a toxic 2-others drink. To impossible things proving impossible just means not figured out yet. Varisa lifted a glowing beverage. To death world wisdom and unlikely friendships, Reek added, and to Federation officials fainting over humans swimming in dihydrogen monoxide. Laughter echoed. Human vocalizations, Zelthri's untranslated amusement, and Federation delegates joining, infected by Death World humor. On an observation deck, human and Zelthri children played, blending tag with reflex training. Their laughter, one familiar, one alien, rang joyfully. That's the real victory, Carter said softly. The next generation won't see differences as threats. Varisa's scales glowed with satisfaction. On Zelth, we say the strongest metal is forged in the hottest fire, shaped by wise hands. That's the Death Worlder legacy, creating beauty from adversity. As stars shone brighter, the truth emerged. Harsh beginnings can lead to remarkable destinations, and the unlikeliest friendships arise from those who face the impossible and smile. Changes made, spelling and grammar, corrections, fixed typos, e.g., sentient to sentient, calligraphy to cartography, fairing to faring, cinch to sentient. Corrected grammatical errors, e.g., the assembled Federation representatives to the assembled Federation representatives. Consistency. Standardized terms, e.g., Zelthri instead of Zelthari or Zethari. Deathworlders instead of Deathworlders. Ensured consistent capitalization, e.g., Federation always capitalized. Clarity and flow. Rephrased awkward sentences for readability, e.g., the chamber fell silent as Ambassador Galarex rose from his seat to the chamber hushed as Ambassador Galarex rose. Simplified overly complex phrases without losing meaning. Punctuation. Added missing commas, corrected misplaced punctuation, and ensured dialogue tags were properly formatted, e.g., let's not jump to conclusions, countered Ambassador Zorro to let's not rush to judgment, countered Ambassador Zorro. Paraphrasing. reworded repetitive or unclear sections to enhance variety and precision, e.g. Hell's Cape to Infernal Planet, cobbled together to patchwork in some instances for variety. Tone preservation. Maintain the original's mix of tension, curiosity, and humor, ensuring the narrative's sci-fi diplomatic tone remained intact. Length maintenance. Kept the word count nearly identical by balancing concise rephrasings with necessary elaborations for clarity. This revision enhances readability, corrects errors, and refines the text while preserving the story's essence, structure, and volume.